All right, welcome to another edition of Cory Means Business podcast and YouTube show. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Still guestless this week because obviously the social distancing. So going to go solo again. Today I want to talk about a couple of different topics. One obviously is what's on everybody's mind still, which is this coronavirus. Obviously it's still going on. Can't escape it yet, so might as well continue to deal with it. I'm sure by now everyone's starting to see that the numbers weren't what they said they were going to be, which I said weeks ago that was going to be the case. And it's more in line with the regular flu. So as business owners, people are finding out that this isn't what they said it was. People want out. They want to start getting back to work, back to business. The PPP loans are starting to roll out. I did hear this morning. A few of my clients had gotten them. So that's good news that, in fact, they are starting to roll out the PPP. The other loans, the SBA loans, have not started to be generating yet. They wanted to obviously make an emergency measure on the PPP first. I think that's going to eat up most of the funds they allocated. So I'm not sure we're going to have any money left over in the original deal to get any actually SBA loans out there. So that's going to be something that's going to be coming still. So if you haven't gotten your PPP yet, that is going to be the priority. I definitely recommend that you get on it right away so that you can get that money. Once it's gone, it's going to be gone. They're going to have to allocate another $250 billion to it. I think it'll happen later this week. The good news about the PPP is they'll keep funding it. Even though you keep hearing these things about money running out, you still got to apply because they're going to keep funding it. You should apply anyway. Even if you end up don't using it, or you end up not using it for your payroll, for core expenses, that just means it won't become forgivable, but it'll still be a nice loan that'll be super low interest. So even if you don't have big payroll, say you have a business that doesn't have a big payroll, or you don't have a lot of expenses, still apply for the PPP, because even if you don't use it for payroll, you can still use it for whatever you want to use it for. It's just not forgivable, but it'll still be a super low interest rate in a long term. So it's a great way to get some cash flow. If you follow anything that I teach, you'll know that I preach leveraging money. Obviously, is key for a business. Something you must do. You just have to be smart about it. And this is the lowest, cheapest money you're ever going to get, the cheapest, longest term money you're ever going to get as far as a business loan goes. So you've got to grab it. Also, you want to apply for the SBA loan as well, the disaster relief loan, which is going to be something that's a different package, nothing to do with the PPP. This will be money they're going to use to float businesses to be sustained beyond the 2.5 months the PPP is going to give you. Obviously, 2.5 months is going to make up this hole. So they're going to have to give out more money. So apply for all of it because, again, it's the cheapest leverage you're ever going to get. It's cheap money. It's almost free. I think they're talking about the interest rates being 1 or 2%, which is, for all intents and purposes, free money. And the length of the terms are going to be like 10, 20 years. So 1, 2% money for 10, 20 years for your business, you have to get the money. Absolutely, no question about it. So now that you're going to do those two things, and again, meet Kevin. I'll put another link on it. He's got all kinds of videos on it. He's really super sharp guy. So I'll put some links on this video down below on his channel, so you can go over everything with him. There's no point for me to repeat it because he's really got the good stuff as far as how to do it and how to apply all that kind of things. That said, we got to start planning for the reopening of your business. Now, if we've talked about it in this previous podcast, if you're a business that can operate right now, you need to be operating. If you can work, you should be working. When I say can work, is there any way that you can make your business essential? So let's talk about what is and isn't an essential business, because as I've studied this and I've taken a look at it, people are interpreting it completely different. What is a stay-at-home order? What does that mean? The governors do not have the ability to make you stay in your house. That is not possible, not with any crisis, let alone this crisis. So a stay-at-home order, they've been misperceived, and the media has done that intentionally. You're not ordered to stay in your home. It is a recommendation. It is a request. You're not going to get arrested if you leave. You might have some cops out there if you're at a park or if you're at some public space that has been deemed unopen, well, then yes, you might be susceptible to be getting a ticket or to getting interviewed by the police. I mean, don't go to public spaces where they've been closed, parks, things like that, where they've designated them to be closed. But as far as like, going out into your neighborhood or the streets or, down to the store, things like that, you're not on house arrest. As far as your business goes, depends on what kind of business it is. Now, as far as I've studied, and again, you want to double check with your attorney, check, Google your own local state for the guidance. But from what I've seen, even in the most aggressive states, the only things that are absolutely shut down, cannot be operating right now, at least at the primary location, are salons, as well as massage therapists, things like that, which that's questionable. Massage could be considered therapeutic, which again would be medical, which could be made to be an essential service. But for the most part, it comes down to hairdressers, nail salons, things like that. Things are just vanity, obviously. And then from there, restaurants cannot have open seating, but they can do carry out, they can do delivery. And then, of course, any retail stores, as far as retail hard goods, clothing, regular shopping, and so forth, are not open unless they carry groceries. Now, if you had a store that maybe has other things but carries some groceries, you could still be open as long as you carry groceries. That's considered essential. Those, as far as I can see, really outside of New York, I know New York and New Jersey probably have some more stricter standards. I know that contractors, unless it's an essential thing, life and death or destruction of the property, cannot work. But if it's can be justifiable for anything that has to do with life or safety or destruction of property or preservation of the property, even in some of the contractor laws or contractor states in New York and New Jersey, still can do some construction work. The rest of the states are wide open for any kind of construction, residential, commercial, all construction is wide open. It's deemed essential. So again, really for the other 48 states, the only thing that I can see that's really, you can't make a case that it's essential would be hair salons and restaurants, movie theaters, entertainment, places of entertainment, if it's just for entertainment, bars, nightclubs, golfing, if it's for entertainment, there's some golfing ranges and stuff like that are indoors that are obviously closed. But if it's not entertainment or if it's not restaurant or where you're going to go in and sit down, everything else pretty much can be made essential. So when you look at it that way, there's a lot of people sitting at home right now that really are essential services. Even if your business does not supply direct essential services, if you're in the supply chain for essential services, meaning that you do work for someone that's an essential service. Let's say that you do something that services or serves grocery stores or medical or construction. Let's say your construction supply sells. You're essential because you're in the supply chain for an essential service. Anything to do with banking, banking's an essential service. If you do any kind of accounting work, any kind of work that would help an accountant, any kind of work that would be applicable to anybody that deals with accounting or finance or banking or insurance. Okay, these are all essentials. So in addition to the actual essential businesses, anybody that has them as a vendor or a supplier, or you're in that supply chain, you supply them, whether it's just something, a computer program, you supply those people, no matter what it is. If you're in that chain, trucking, anything logistical, okay, storage, you name it. If you're in the supply chain of essential services in any kind of way, you're essential. So I'm seeing a lot of people claiming not to be working, claiming at home, they're actually in essential services and or are supportive of essential services. And again, besides the very few examples that I've given, restaurants, movie theaters, entertainment, nightclubs, bars, again, unless it's some kind of entertainment business, everything else from what I can see is pretty much going to be essential and or in the essential chain. If you can work, you should be working. We have to maintain as much of the economy as we possibly can. This is not a vacation. One of the things I was arguing with somebody earlier today about was, you don't be selfish and go to work. You're going to be slightly inconvenienced. 17 million people have filed for unemployment since this started. 17 million people have filed for unemployment. That's not inconvenience. Okay. I was reading a third of all landlords did not receive their rent payments last month on April 1st. That's not inconvenience. We are talking about lives. We are talking about the destruction of businesses. We are talking about small businesses, either having employees not showing up or calling out because they're afraid of getting this flu virus. If you can work, you need to be working. Anything we can do to support this economy, we need to be doing. You need to be going to your local restaurants that are shuttered right now. You need to be going there and ordering takeout. There is a local restaurant in my neighborhood I would go to once a week, no matter what. We order up a bunch of food, a bunch of drinks. We go there every week to help support them. You have to do it. You have to support more than just Walmart right now and Amazon. You've got to be supporting small businesses in your community. Buy gift cards. Go to some of these businesses that can't sell right now and actually buy gift cards. If you have a business that has a retail location, you need to be offering curbside pickup. Now, that's, again, one of the exceptions to the rule. You can have a retail business that sells clothing, other goods, sporting goods, equipment, things like that. Even though you're not allowed to have your store open, you can still do curbside delivery. You can also do delivery to their homes. So if you have a local business and you normally have customers that come in and you think that you're not an essential and you've been asked to shut down or close your doors, you can still deliver. Okay, you can still do online orders. You can still deliver. So you need to be doing that. You need to be doing everything you can in order to be maintaining your business and maintaining the economy. If we all do that and we all make sure that we do that, then there's going to be a heck of a lot left on May 1st when it all opens up. Let's face it, this is going to open up May 1st. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It will happen. The majority of the country is pushing back right now. They want it open right now. May 1st it's going to be open, except for maybe New York and New Jersey. They're going to obviously play this game all the way for money and for attention and for political gain. It's a shame, but they're going to do it. But everybody else is going to be back open come May 1st. There'll be some social distancing things still in place, of course. There'll be, if you're in line, stand away from each other. Restaurants will probably be limited to every other table just to keep some more space. They'll do a lot more sanitization. Your waiters and waitresses will probably be wearing masks, things like that. But that's fine for a couple of months until people finally realize that this is actually passed through and there's not going to be the millions dead like was originally predicted. Nothing more than a strong flu. And at the end of the day, it's going to be about the same as a strong flu season. Matter of fact, I was looking at a report before I came in to do this today that was saying year-over-year deaths for the month of March are exactly on pace with what they have been every March for the last 4 years. So there's not more death. It's the same. A lot of these hospitals are coding this stuff as being COVID-19, but the vast majority of these people are dying with COVID-19, not from COVID-19. There's a big difference of dying with something versus of something. And a lot of these hospitals are being opportunistic. The government has said that they're going to pay for all of the medical of anybody that come into a hospital with COVID. They're going to flip the bill. So you can imagine this hospital, all their other patients are not there. All the voluntary surgeries are not happening. So these hospitals are hemorrhaging money. Very, very easy to say, well, did they test positive? Yeah. Do they have the symptoms? And literally they are coding now people that just have the symptoms of COVID as being a COVID death, even though it wasn't produced a test. There was no confirmation of it. They're still allowing that. And of course, these hospitals, being opportunistic, wanting the money, are going to code these deaths as COVID, even though they're not. It could be a massive heart attack. Oh, he couldn't breathe. COVID. That's happening. You better believe it. I'm looking forward to the investigation that occurs after all this on some of these medical providers and hospitals that are faking these numbers, because To do so for monetary gain, you're putting the general population into hysteria over something that isn't warranted so that you can get a few extra bucks. That's not okay. All right. So they need to be punished for that. And any hospital that gets caught doing that, they're going to have to surrender not only the money they got from it, but they're going to have to pay a serious penalty. And if someone was actively involved with it, I said they need to be brought up on criminal charges. We can't have that. We can't have stuff like that happening. So if you can work, work. That's the message of today. If you can work, work. Now let's get into what you should be doing as you're working. Now, if your sales are dropping off, that, again, we've talked about it in other podcasts and other shows. That's to be expected. We don't expect you're going to maintain your sales unless, again, you're in the in a grocery store or you're or in the supply chain of Walmart, things like that, where sales are going crazy. Other than that, everybody else, if your sales are a little down, you need to be taking this time, maintain what you can, get creative, like I said, do some creative sales. But now you need to be working on your marketing and your sales plan. So as we open back up on May 1st, you have that ready to go so that you're able to actually hit the ground running full speed. You don't want to get started on May 1st. You want to be in full sprint mode come May 1st. So the second that you're fully operational, fully open, have your employees back, all the things that you want to hit the ground running. You don't want to be just getting out of the starting block. How do you do that? We talked about a little bit in the last couple of episodes. You need to make sure your marketing plan, your sales plan is on point. Your marketing, we talked about sales and how to do that. Your marketing I want to touch on. There is so much that you could be doing on social media right now. Obviously, everybody is on their phone right now. All the people that aren't working or sitting at home, what are they on? They're on Facebook and Instagram. What a prime place to be prospecting right now. And you could do it for free. Now, if your business doesn't have a Facebook page, doesn't have an Instagram page, you better make one. You better make one right now. Take this time to do that. And then you better start following people that would be interested in your services and goods. Don't be following celebrities and hot girls and bikinis and fast cars unless you're into those things, unless that's what your business does. Other than that, you should be following people who would be interested in your services or your goods. Because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create that goodwill with those people, and you're going to want to get those connections going now so that you can start the marketing to these people as they follow you back, as they interact with your posts, as they interact with your videos. You can then interact with them, and you can make sure that you have that customer list, that prospect list growing right now. Let me give you a couple of tips. And just so you know, on my YouTube channel, if you guys haven't found it yet, I've got several videos about exactly how to do social media prospecting for small businesses, how to do it for free. Again, the advertising is really smart, and you need to get there at some point, but there's a lot you could do for free. I've got a few videos on my YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's at Cory Jean Success. Everything's at Cory Jean Success. Go check out my YouTube channel. I've got videos there that will really help you to get a great foothold on your social media presence. They're great. Facebook will allow you, obviously, two things. You can do a business page as well as your personal. Personal, you can add 5,000 friends. Your business page, you can invite all those 5,000 friends to your business page. You can also DM all your personal friends, your 5,000 personal friends. Obviously, there's not personal friends, but 5,000 connections, your network. You have to think about it as a network. Facebook and your personal Facebook even shouldn't be thought of as like, I want to see what all these people are doing and where they're drinking this weekend. If you have a business or you're a professional, you should be using your personal Facebook page as a prospecting tool, meaning that the people you follow, the people that you request as friends, the people you interact with are like-minded people that are in your circle for your business and or what you sell. So for me, I only want to have business owners as friends on Facebook. I don't really want to have Susie, the local party girl, as a Facebook friend. It doesn't do me any good. There's nothing that I can't get anything out of that relationship. Yeah, it's cool to see people doing cool stuff and everything, but you got to think relationships, because people who are on your level financially, who are on your level with motivation and goal setting, they're going to be who you want to surround yourself with, right? You've heard the saying about, you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. I'm going to say this: you are the accumulation of the 5,000 Facebook friends you surround yourself with. And so if you got to do a clean out of your Facebook, and you got to get rid of some of these yahoos that are just waiting for their $1,200 check, they're not working right now, Get rid of those people, okay? Look, they need to go create their own little cliques and they can do their own thing. If you want to be serious about your money, you want to be serious about business, about making money, you got to be smarter. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 5,000 Facebook friends and you're going to make them 5,000 people you can do business with, okay? Whatever your business is, whatever you sell, if you're a sales professional, make these people that either be your customers or vendors, suppliers, people you can do business with. If you can't do business with the people on your Facebook page, outside of immediate real friends and real family, get rid of everybody else and replace them with people you can do business with. Then from there, you invite those people to like your business Facebook page. Then from there, you can interact with other pages. You can add yourself as a member of other pages, or you can obviously join other groups on Facebook that are, again, like-minded to what you're doing, or they would be good prospects for your business. Let's say you're a real estate agent, obviously. Well, you'd want to have mortgage brokers. You'd want to have people that own other businesses there locally, because when you go to talk about your real estate services, man, you would really like to be talking to a whole bunch of business owners that are there in your local community, right? Because they buy houses and they buy big houses and they sell their houses and they move up, right? So there's a lot of customers there if you look for them properly. So again, fill your 5,000 with like-minded people. Then in your business page, you're going to go join groups, interact with other pages that would be good business alliances. And then again, invite them over to your business page. Also, too, to get things to do super cheap engagement on your business page, you can make a nice post about what you do on your business page, and then you can spend like $40 or $50 and target just your local little community there, if that's what your business is. Just target your local community and get likes. Okay, the people that like the post, you can then go back and you can invite them to like your page. So you can get for $50 in a nice, good-looking post that you do on your business page, you can get probably for $50, I'd say 300 likes, 400 likes. Well, now you can go and invite those 400 people to your page, and you can also direct message those people. Then once they like your page, well, now you can then start messaging them about your services or your goods, and you can start prospecting. You can have a business page that has 5,000, 4,000 local people or people who you could do business with pretty quickly, and probably for maybe $300 or $400. It doesn't cost thousands. And then you could have 4,000 or 5,000 people on your business page that you spent maybe $400 or $500 acquiring that are going to be your perfect customer. And then you can prospect with them. There is nothing wrong with messaging people who are either following you or liking stuff that you have, and then hitting them up and saying, hey, would you be interested in me helping you or doing some work for you, etc. That is not spam. Spamming is when you go to somebody that you do not know, have not interacted with, have no connection or relationship with, and send them a message asking them to buy something. That is spam. So don't confuse people that you have a relationship with and you message them about your goods or services. Don't think of that as spam. It's not. It's prospecting. It's quality prospecting, because it's someone that thinks enough of you, obviously, to interact with you already. So you have to take advantage of that. So if I've got my 5,000 Facebook friends and I've got another 5,000 on my Facebook business page, okay, for $500, that is 10,000 potential customers from me. If I'm interacting with them and offering my goods and services to them genuinely, think about what that could do for your business. Now, for $500 and some sweat equity, you could get a prospecting list of 10,000 people that would be interested in doing what you do. Now, that's what smart marketing is. Then from there, of course, we can talk about running ads. We can talk about making offers, doing more paid advertising, more paid promotions. That's down the road after you have your 10,000 core. You can do the same thing with Instagram. Instagram will allow you 7,500 people that you can follow. You want to take that and you want to follow people, same thing, same strategy. You want to follow people who are involved in anything that you would be doing. Again, you think of it as, with this person I'm going to follow and interact with, would they be interested in doing business with me? Either as a supplier or a vendor and or a customer. If the answer is no, then don't follow them, don't interact with them. There's nothing there for you. Interact with those that you can do business with. If you can't do business with them, then don't do it. So there's another 7,500 on Instagram that you can interact with. And again, same thing, DM them, direct message them after you have that relationship. It's not spam. It's simply prospecting. So now let's think about it. For $500, we'll call it $1,000, just round up. We'll call it $1,000 and some sweat equity. You have 17,500 potential prospects at your fingertips that have relationships with you. Do you understand how powerful that is? If you had a videography business, for instance, if you had a construction business, if you had a local store or shop, or you did lashes or you did nails, you could have 17,500 people locally to you that could be potential customers, that you could be direct messaging and posting and making offers. Do you understand the power of that? This is not that complicated. People make it more complicated than it has to be. So let's get your marketing game on point, right? If you need some help with it, reach out to me. Other than that, again, the first 17.5 should be pretty easy to get, or at least not easy, but simple. Will take some work, but is simple to do. You don't got to wait till you get to 17.5. You obviously can be prospecting and DMing if you got 10, but you got to get doing it. Get your marketing game right. Get your sales funnel right now so that come May 1st, you can hit the ground running, not starting. Okay, you have 2 weeks still. Today is April 15th. You have 2 weeks to do this. You have 2 weeks to get as many potentials as you can lined up. You have 2 weeks to get your sales funnel on point. Again, we've talked about it in other podcasts. We've talked about it in other videos on YouTube, how to do the sales funnel. It's in my book. Okay, if you haven't gotten a copy of my book yet, get it. Maximize Your Now on Amazon. #1 international bestseller. Get it. Lots of tips and tricks in there to really, really get you running. There's no need to struggle. You've got to just take control, and you've got to do a couple of things well. And you can really, really, not only will you come out of this being fine, you'll come out of this being better than you ever were, right? We talked about it in the first podcast. If you make adjustments now during these times and stop being afraid and stop being scared and just get active and start taking action, you can come out of this thing bigger and better and badder than you ever were. Okay, this can be what propels you to another level, not what knocks you down. It all just comes down to your mentality. It comes down to a mindset. I told you before, every time there's doing these catastrophes or situations like this, I always make myself better. I always come out of it making more money, growing, because I take the time to make the adjustments and to get better. So let's put a wrap on it. It's not the end of the world. This was sold to us. A bill of goods was sold to us. It was all lies and propaganda and people being opportunistic about their careers and other motives. Bill Gates wants to vaccinate the world, so he obviously pushed this on Fauci and on Birx, or Birx, I think her name is, which they then sold the president on doing. It's a sham. It's a scam. Thank God it's going to come to an end quick. And for those of you that can justify your essential status, you better be doing it, and you better be working right now, as well as doing the marketing and the sales, so that come May 1st, when you're fully operational and people are going to start patronizing your business again, you'll be able to really, like I say, hit the ground sprinting, not coming out crawling like everybody else. If you come out running and everybody else comes out crawling, imagine the power that's going to be in that. You'll be so far ahead of the curve, it's not even funny. You'll crush your competition. So that's what we're about, right? We're about coming in first, not coming in second, third, or last. So it's been a pleasure to give you this knowledge, a pleasure. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you got some great information out of this, some great advice out of this, please like, please share, please subscribe. Subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to keep coming every week, no matter what. I'm going to come every week with this. I'm going to keep teaching you guys stuff for free. I'm going to keep giving you great knowledge, tips, and tricks on how to grow your business and how to get better at doing this stuff. My book, I'm leaving it right now through this crisis at 99 cents. And I'm doing that on purpose because I want everybody to have access to it after the crisis, May 1st. It's going to go up to $29.95. That's what it was supposed to have been. And I'm going to take it back up there once this crisis is over. So if you haven't gotten your copy, get it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much.